Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We're back live on the show and welcome everyone. I'm just trying to get all the comments working. So if you can, if you're online, please do comment. I'm trying again to see if the comments are working. I don't think it was coming through YouTube, so I've just come back online and welcome to show 2. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars a digital gift that helps me to earn money. So we're just having a problem with the comments section. So I've come back online. And please do like and share the show. Welcome everyone, new and old. It's 28th of January. It's a new year. It's already almost the end of 2026. For me, it's hard to believe, but there you go. The year is rollicking along. It's all happening. Can you believe nearly 1 month? And please do write a comment so I know that the comments are working. I'm looking for YouTube people. So if anyone's on YouTube, just please do please do write a comment. That would just collaborate or help me know that it's working. But we're back online. I'm going to pick a card from the Buddhism Oracle deck, which is right there. Can you see the Buddhism Oracle? Which I've received from a special friend as a gift. So I'm really grateful to her. And thank you for being here. I've got a beautiful rose quartz. Beautiful rose quartz. There we go. What do you think? Beautiful, beautiful. So coming from the heart, reminding everyone to come from the heart, to activate the energy of the heart, which is love and compassion. I feel like I'm surrounded in pink energy. I've also got this rose quartz here, which is raw. It's like a raw piece of rose quartz, and it exactly matches me. So I am just matching the rose quartz, and that's a beautiful beautiful crystal. Do crystals play any part in your life? Do you work with them? Do you use them? Do you like them? What can you tell me about crystals? What can you tell me about crystals? Do you like them? Carla says, how are you? I'm doing good, Carlos. I was quite unwell for a couple of weeks, but I'm coming back. I had an infection, so in my leg, I had an infection, and it got because it got it was a wound that got infected essentially. So, anyways, how have you been? How are you doing? How's 2026 going? So for me already, 2026 seemed a bit confronting and seemed a bit daunting, but here I am. I am feeling much better, and it's almost like I am back. Carla says, I am sorry, hope you're okay. I've taken antibiotics, which I don't enjoy doing. They were pretty extreme. Feel like I've wiped out my digestive system, so I'm just taking a bit of time to come back into balance, into equilibrium. 2026 is going well so far. That's wonderful to hear, Carla. Sending you lots of blessings. And what's the highlight been of your week? What's the highlight of your week, or the highlight of the year even? So we're going to pick a card from the beautiful Buddhism Oracle deck. And this card is asking us what we need to know about 2026. Let's have a look. What do we need to know about 2026? There we go. All right, so this card is a beautiful card. Love this card. And it reminds us that when we attach too strongly to things, when I say things, it can be ideas, it can be, religious idea, it can be a concept, it can be an ideology, a thought form, an idea, even any idea, even the idea of attachment is you can be attached to that. Attachment is the desire. Attachment to desire. So when you're attached to basically anything you desire and you become attached to it, it can become suffering when you don't have that thing. And even when you do have that thing, you can imagine a chocolate cake. Even when you do have that chocolate cake, it's a little bit is good, but too much of a good thing is not good. So too much of a good, and humanity has often been greedy. They've been greedy. I see this a lot. It's like you have a good thing, keep it. Don't keep changing. Keep like expanding everything. I see that with some things, and I'm like, no, just you have a nice. I see it all in all. In so many different examples where you have a nice thriving little. I remember I'm thinking of Ackland Street, which is in Melbourne. It's a thriving place, and then I don't know. Then they just kept talking about building this and building that, building a giant mall, and you're like, no, just improve what's there, upgrade it, but don't start to have this idea of we're just going to keep expanding and expanding and expanding, because it doesn't serve. So this idea of ever increasing growth, ever increasing, we are on a planet of limited resources, whether that's time, whether that's people, whether that's animals, whether that's trees, whether it's oil, whether it's water. There's not limitless trees. We can have a limitless idea in our mind. It's almost like our mind can be limitless. Our soul can be limitless, but the 3D world, the physical world, has limitations. There's only a certain number of trees in the world. So human beings come along and go, oh, we want to use trees to build our houses, and they just cut down trees and cut down tree. And it's like, if you're depleting a resource, you need to maintain a resource. You need to plant new trees. So if you're going to destroy something, you've got to rebuild. So bamboo is the most wonderful thing ever. So bamboo, hemp, there's so many incredible things that we can grow. That hemp, bamboo grows like extraordinarily quickly. So we can have things like bamboo and use bamboo to build houses and just keep planting lots of bamboo. So that's an example of managing resources. But human beings historically have just destroyed, and so there's so many species that are extinct, becoming extinct, because human beings just didn't stop. You can't just keep killing, if it's a bird, or you can't just keep killing things. It's like you can't just kill all the fish. So it's really important to realize that attachment arises when we want something different from what we're experiencing right now. So let me say that again. Attachment arises when we want something different from what we are experiencing here, right now. Bamboo grows tall very quickly. The root systems, however, take over. So Marianne, there you are. That's on YouTube. So I thought YouTube wasn't working. So I came on live again. This is my second live show. So welcome everyone again. So great to see you, Marianne. How are you? And bamboo grows very tall very quickly, the root system. So, that points out, that's important to realize, there's nothing perfect. There's no perfect solution. So bamboo can have its issues as well. Thank you for pointing that out, Marianne. The point I was making really was that there are resources that we can use that can recalibrate, that can flourish again. So we take something and put something back. And the same with fishing. You can't just destroy it, which is what humans have done. It's like just take everything. Well, what about future generations? Did you not think about that? Did you just think, oh, we'll just take everything? So it's all about selfishly taking everything for now and also taking too much. So the traditional fishing systems are really a tragedy, incredibly cruel. What they do is they swallow up whole parts of the ocean. They just take everything like that, taking everything, swallowing up everything. And of course, it's incredibly destructive and cruel. So we used to have billions of turtles. Turtles were such a big part of the ocean, and they've been killed. They've been sadly killed by human beings with complete selfishness, lack of honor, lack of respect for the beautiful natural world in which we reside. Cold, 10 more days of freezing weather after blizzard. So it's very intense weather, Marianne, very freezing and very cold. And that's really, hope everything's going okay for you, Marianne. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Carla says. Marianne, so very sad, and it catches creatures that should be protected. Carla says, I'm enjoying the cold. Fantastic. Carla says, well, I'm just catching up to some of your comments. Staying warm and manifesting. Tell me more. How are you manifesting? And I would love to hear your advice. I'm just working on a new website because I had the old heal.me package. So my website was on heal.me where you can make bookings. But I'm doing a personalized website now, which means I have more control and I can sort of map it out in, how I like it. So Carlos is staying warm. Maybe that's why you're enjoying the cold, Carlos. And Marianne is very cold, sending you lots of warm energy. And Carlos is writing out my manifestation. So that is really powerful, everyone. And I'm gonna do that too, Carlos. You're inspiring me, Carlos. So how are we attached? Drinking hot chocolate. So that's the way. I love that, Carlos. Drinking hot chocolate, staying warm. So how do we have an ever-increasing list of unfulfilled desires? Does that cause us to experience discontent and disconnect us from living simply in the pure joy of the present moment? So it's interesting we're talking about writing, manifesting, and that we're talking about attachment. And how do these things fit together? 555 on the clock. So for me, to answer this, I would advocate staying non-attached, even whilst imagining and focusing on the energy of that which you wish to attract to yourself, that which you wish to manifest. So waves of manifestation energy are bringing in the possible, bringing in what is from the limitless field around us. The field around us is always loving, always limitless, always unconditional. When we start to raise forth our intention, we can bring forth the energy, grow this energy into manifestation. However, this card is endorsing this idea of non-attachment. So staying non-attached to whatever it is in the stream of consciousness, not holding that as holding on to it too strongly, which is in Buddhist philosophy, often there's this idea of grasping. So Carlos, how does that work for you as an idea, as an orientation? So we're not grasping onto anything. We're letting it go. We're letting things come to us. If you said 11 after the hour, I know my cousin is likely saying hello from the other side. If you said 11 after the hour, I know my cousin is likely saying hello from the other side. All right. So coming through strongly for Marianne, for Carlos, and exploring these ideas of manifestation, of calling forth what we wish to experience, acknowledging that this is a physical world and that becoming attached, letting it go and stop thinking about it, becoming attached to anything, even the ideas is going to cause some kind of suffering. So we don't want to be suffering too much. We don't want to be putting forth this idea of suffering energy. We want to be constructive, to be moving the energy forward. And it's fascinating because I think of certain things that when you come to it from one orientation, they don't seem like suffering, but another orientation, they can seem like suffering, and everything in balance. So, when I'm cleaning dishes, I actually quite enjoy cleaning dishes, but when I think there's a certain point, if there's too many dishes, when it becomes like suffering for me. So it's really also the orientation of something you're doing, like cleaning dishes doesn't have to be, can be quite neutral, and it's what we bring to that experience which matters. So, and some people have these ideas, or they're sticking to a thought form, and they're sticking to an idea of I don't do this, or I don't like this, or this isn't, and it's a part of their personality, and they attach to that. Or, but it is just a, it's like playing in this field where we're putting out things. It's a game. We're putting out things. We're playing the game of consciousness, and it is a neutral field. It's the field is just going to support that. If you have this idea of, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, you bring that energy and you raise that consciousness for yourself. You raise that vibration. You make that into reality. And really, people, I don't like snow, for instance. I don't like snow. Well, it's not going to stop the snow from falling. It's not going to stop the snow from falling, having that kind of attitude. Carlos says Carlos, what you said is really important. So not attaching to those ideas, those concepts. For me, this is really just as valid, Carlos. Not attaching. So, and not thinking about it like, oh, grasping, oh, I need this to happen, which I see a lot of people doing, and it creates suffering. And I see it also in a romantic sense. People get very stuck on ideas like, I need a husband, I need a wife, or my life isn't complete without a husband or wife, or I am suffering because I don't have a husband or wife. This idea that this husband or wife is the most important thing. It's going to come along and cure everything, make everything go away. And of course, it's not like that. There's an opportunity in being alone. There's an opportunity in being single. There's a great opportunity to experience stillness, to experience silence, to experience your own energy, and get to know yourself without anyone else. Carla, so letting it go and stop thinking about it. Hey, would love a card. Welcome, Roslyn. Welcome to the show. You look very familiar. Did you change your name on Facebook? Just remind me if you've been on the show before. You do look familiar. Welcome to the show. And Carla says, happy I'm moving forward. Great to hear. Same here, David. Love washing dishes. So we have all these opportunities in life that are presented to us, and it's, as I said, it's a neutral opportunity. It's what you would like to bring to that. So even you can go to the toilet and some people can see that as a horrible thing or a chore. I must say, last night I needed to go to the bathroom. I don't know, it was probably midnight or something, in the middle of the night. I really didn't want to. I really just didn't want to get out of bed. I was like, oh, really? And I'm sure a lot of you experience that too, where we just don't, we don't want to go to the bathroom. So I do understand, but even things like going to the bathroom, it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to come with any negativity. It can be something positive. And I like to put reminders up on the wall, like that bring me close to union with the divine, union with divine consciousness, higher consciousness. Things that just remind me, little seeds I can plant in the bathroom, for instance. So Carlos says that. So it's Rosalind. I didn't hear from you. Just let me know you're online, and if you've been on the show before. I think you had a different name, but just curious. Let me know if you are there. You said, so Marianne's talking about 11. All right, so we are actually working. The comments are coming through, so this is great. I am going to pick a card now from the Starseed Oracle, which is going to ask the cards to bring us some vision, some wisdom, some orientation for the month of February, which of course is coming soon. What can we need to know? What can we bring to the field? What kind of energy can we bring to manifest the highest possible energy for ourselves and the world? All right, so just shuffling these cards, and I've kind of misshuffled, so I'm just going to come back. Cards are flying all over the place. I don't know if you can relate, Marianne. There are cards all over. All right, so this is getting really confusing because my shuffling, I think I need to just be practicing my shuffling more, I reckon. All right, so let's have a look. And we have a beautiful card here. Can you see that card? It's like a diamond, many facets. So that represents humanity and the collective consciousness. And it's a reminder for February that this is an open field. This is a neutral field, that we bring our intention into that field. We bring our consciousness into the field. We're like embryos. We come into this world with potential, and that potential is in any direction, potential to cause harm and potential to do good in the world. Marianne says, oh, we are having an issue with what you said, Marianne, for I started spring cleaning. There we go. For in bulk, I started spring cleaning. These cards are frequent flyer miles. Frequent flyer miles. So that's pretty funny, Marianne. That is pretty funny. I just don't know what in bulk is, so that's where I got confused. But I love what you said about frequent flyer miles. Yeah, these cards, that's brilliant. Yeah, very clever. So what I was talking about was this idea in this card that there is this limitless possibility. I was talking about limitations in the physical world, the resources being limited. However, our minds and our capacity is unlimited. Unlimited is limitless. And I never understood why we have two words for the same thing, which is limitless and unlimited. It's so curious. What's the difference between those two? I always prefer limitless than unlimited, but perhaps you have other suggestions for me. So reminding consciousness, reminding humanity in February of 2026, you are the artist. You can manifest. You can create. You are a creative being. So that's really important. Forge, don't follow. Create, don't just surrender. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. So this is a leadership card for everyone in their lives. You know, we see a lot of media stuff. We see stories about celebrities, about politicians. Don't get caught up in that kind of stuff, but bring the leadership into your own life. You know, whatever you see on a television screen, these are human beings. So you're a human being, and you're not that different. So learn how to be human. That's the invocation for February 2026. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. In the world, but not of it. So that is the reflection, the contemplation, the encouragement for February. Rosalind kind of disappeared. You kind of vanished. So I don't think you're online, but if you're online, you know, do write in the comments. And that's where I look, in the comments section. So if you are there, you kind of got to raise your voice in the comments. You got to say, hi, I'm here. And Marianne says, a weekend holiday with spring cleaning as the activity to clean the energy. I really believe this strongly. This is a brilliant invocation. In it, but not of it, is Amish. So for Imbolc, I started spring cleaning. Do these cards approve? Okay. A weekend holiday with spring cleaning as the activity to clear the energy. In it, but not of it, is Amish. In it, but not of it. So what do you know about the Amish, Marianne? Have you met them? I think your family, was it Amish, or you had family members that were in some kind of interesting religion or community, I think. So I do find that really fascinating. There's definitely pros and cons to all these kind of secluded communities, people who are separate from the mainstream, and often there's visionaries or great visionaries develop them or set them up, and then it can become chaotic and messy, especially when these people are no longer around. So Mormon, that was it. Not Amish, Mormon. So that was what I was thinking about, your Mormon cousins in Utah. And what's it like to spend time with them? It's so interesting because as I said, I see the positives, and often these communities are so cohesive and they work together. You know, how wonderful is that? People work together. They're not separate. They're not individual. Well, they are individual, but they have a sense of community. Of course, there is a lot of darkness in these communities so often, but there's also a lot of lightness, I'm sure. And it's a mix, like all human endeavors. There's a bit of everything, a bit of shadow. And 2026 is bringing this to the surface, raising this up. And Carla says, may I have a card? We're going to pick from the Buddhism article, which is a new deck I am exploring right now for Carla. And once again, the cards they've managed to fly all over the room, and maybe they could get some frequent flyer miles, Carla. So we're just clicking that. Marianne says, since Joe died, it's hard to contact them, but they'll reach out for the Book of Remembrance. What is the Book of Remembrance, Marianne? Carla says, thank you. All right, so this is a card reminding you to purify your thoughts. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. That's very much aligned with what we were talking about, your manifestation. So I don't know if you can see that, Carlos. We shape our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. So that's the reminder for you, Carlos. Look deep into your heart. Question the motivation for your thoughts, as well as the validity or truthfulness of each thought, the accuracy of each thought. So this is about purifying your mind, and you have that capacity, you have that potential. You can question a thought and go, does that thought lead to fulfillment? Does that thought lead to my goals being met? Does that thought lead to my happiness? Does that thought lead to my health and well-being? When you can remove your own personal fantasy stories or your own personal fantasy stories from your thoughts, you'll be able to embrace reality simply as it comes to you, simply as it appears, and understand that there is a divine purpose to everything that happens to us. So that is a beautiful reminder of bringing clarity and bring this clarity into your life, Carlos. We're kind of gonna have a look at the starseed oracles for you, starseed oracle for you today, Carlos, and just coming into this clarity. This card it's very much a visionary card, and you can see, let me just put that there. Let's just have a look at that, Carlos. Just kind of, let me come a bit closer. What a beautiful card. It's all paths lead home. All paths lead home. So it's reminding you, wherever you're journeying, and I know you're doing a lot of manifestation, you're journeying with your mind, you're journeying with your heart. Remember that it all comes home, that in authority and intuition, keep the gaze on where it's most met, it's most resonant, where it's most fulfilling to you. So it's almost like you can yearn for something, but don't cling to it. Bring it back to the heart, bring it back to fulfillment, bring it back to what's almost in your legacy, what's most pure to you, what's most important to you, what's bringing you home. And it's like whatever journeys you're going on, come back to the center, come back to the source within, come back to the relationship you have with your soul, your soul remembrance, your soul resonance. Spend some time connecting to the deeper aspects of your soul, and those will become clear in your mind, clear in your heart. It will become you because it is you. So anything that's outside of that is not authentically you. So as an empath, the challenge is to stay connected without cutting off the world. So this is an integrative practice for you to check in with yourself every day, check into what's real, draw on the wisdom from within, and be your own authority, be the authority in your life. So it's a beautiful invocation, a beautiful remembrance, a beautiful coming home to the soul, Carlos. All right, thank you, Carlos. Marianne says genealogy. So I was asking you, Marianne, what is the Book of Remembrance? And Marianne says genealogy. Marianne says, are the things I'd like to include on track, closer to being done, and the new stepping in? Carlos says, thank you. Are the things I'd like to include on track, closer to being done, and the new stepping in? Are the things I'd like to include on it? All right, so sort of understand that card, Marianne, that question. It took me a while. And we've got this little puppy here. Hello. They're beautiful. So we got the two puppies that are sitting down here. so that we are the cards still flying around today. Still having lots of cards flying around. All right, so let's get going on. You stepping in, okay. All right, so we're gonna pick from the Starseed Oracle for you, Marianne. Okay. All right. So we got, let's have a look. So we got this card for you, Marianne, and this card here. I love that card. Look at that. So that is you, Marianne. Let's just see if you can see that. It's a really beautiful card. So there's a purity in your essence, a purity that wants to almost come home into fruition, into your being, into your consciousness, instead of being something subconscious or unconscious, to be recognized, to be acknowledged, I would say. So that's bringing forth an acknowledgement into you, saying, that's your essence. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that essence. We're shaped by our thoughts, and we become what we think. So this card is reminding you that you are a child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the whole universe lies within you. Intelligence of the whole universe lies within you. So it's very much a reverence card almost. I mean, there's definitely a sort of goddess type energy there. But she's shining. She is alive. She is connected to the whole universe, to the cosmos. She is embodied. She is embodied almost by the divine energy, a child of the cosmos. The whole universe lies within her. So it's a very beautiful invocation for you, Marianne, to be a child of the universe. And there's a wonderful force that is governing all of life, an intelligence that tells flowers when to bloom and the tides and seasons when to come and go. That intelligence is within you too. It was there before you drew your first breath, and it will be there before you draw your last breath. It's part of you. It's part of your world that informs every cell of your body and tells it what to do when you're in your mother's womb, to becoming a human being, an infant growing up in the world, and becoming an adult. It's harder to resist this force than to surrender to it, because Earth is a planet of polarity and free will. It's easy to forget that this intelligence exists within us. So this is almost, it's just reminding you that the answers are within, that you are connected to the pulse of life, that that you can, we all fall prey to patterns of believing, patterns of thinking, patterns of consciousness, which disconnects us from the true reality, the true source of our soul, which is love, which is our essence. Loving kindness, compassion, consciousness. You can think of it as love, knowingness, and bliss, which is Satnam in the Vedic tradition, Satnam. We can feel isolated if we try to figure things all out for ourselves. Rather rely on connecting to your core essence, your true self, your inner strength, your inner authority. So this is saying, yep, things are on track. and your own essence is stepping in to fuel your path, your own wisdom, your own intelligence, strength, flow, and your inner quality. Surrender deeply to the infinite intelligence of life. The other card looks a little like Medusa's last hair appointment at the salon. You mean this card? Yeah, the artwork is a little bit funny. I agree with you. It's but this card is your essence. That's the child of the cosmos. Beautiful, beautiful card, Marianne. Thank you. So here we are. It's Wednesday, the 28th of January in Australia. We've made it to another show. Another month has gone by. I'm still live, but the comments section is getting very quiet. So I've enjoyed being with you today. And if no one else has anything to say, or any questions, or any contributions, or any calls for readings, then I will start to gently move to the ending the show. Rosalind disappeared, so Rosalind, do come back and do stay live, and just let us know in the comments, that you're there, because otherwise, unless you're going to listen to the recording, which is on YouTube, you can come back to the recording. I don't know that you're going to listen to it, so please do keep the comment section active. Let me know you're here. Let me know if you're here. Let me know what you would like me to explore as a conscious being of light, raising the consciousness, raising the vibration, and bringing the soul into conscious remembrance, conscious attention. We can just say into consciousness. So not sure if Stu is online. I always love to see Stu. I've got a little puppy beneath my feet, and I have been playing with him a bit. He wanted some attention from me. And the other one is sleeping quite deeply. She's with her soul right now, dancing with her soul. Animals do have a connection to spirit, which is often deeper than human beings, more visceral than human beings. We can be often clouded by our desires and by this brain that filters our consciousness, that tells us things that aren't necessarily true. So wonderful to be with you all on this magical moment, this magical day. It's morning in far north Queensland. It's looking quite grey. And Stu is alive. There is my Stu. So sending lots of love to Stu in Florida. And as always, thank you for being live on the show, being present with us. And always feel free to send us a comment in the comments section. If there's nothing else, no more comments, I am going to say au revoir. Lots of love to everyone. Stay present, stay pure, bring your soul into your consciousness. Remember that it's there. There's no separation. It's just you and your life experience and your own free will that has distorted the message from your soul. So purifying is the root. Purifying is the journey to the soul. Purifying our thoughts, purifying our heart, coming back into our true essence, love, knowingness, bliss, Satnam, loving compassion for ourselves and for all other beings. See you all next week. Thank you. And